Hi, welcome to another day in the life of TLE. I wanted to update you on my current events and tell you about what has taken place since my last video. So, my last video, I was talking about how I went to the pulmonologist's office. The pulmonologist had me sit there in the office for 3 hours, almost 3 hours, and did not um, come in the room to talk to me, which was pretty discouraging. And so I ultimately ended up leaving. I saw him for a couple of minutes. He was whispering, being really weird, and didn't really say much, but I was very saddened by his behavior, largely because I really liked him in the beginning, and I thought, finally I'm talking to a doctor who's actually listening and being respectful and things of that nature. And so, yeah, I'm disappointed. Um, but anyway, that situation was the moment where everything in me that needed to arise in order for me to make some decisions and changes, that moment was the moment. And so at that moment, I decided that it was time for me to look for new doctors. And I was just tired of the chase, tired of the inconsistencies, tired of not getting information, no questions being answered, tired of the circle just never ending. And so the next day I called the hospital to speak with the new patient coordinator regarding transferring to a new doctor. And so she told me that she would get back with me, but first she would need to send out a note for permission to do the transfer to the doctor's office or somewhere. I'm not really sure how that goes. Don't know the procedures. But um, what happened was, well, I'm not sure what happened. A little while after having that conversation with the patient coordinator, my doctor's nurse practitioner called me and said that she had gotten a note stating that I was requesting to transfer to the doctor, named the doctor, and said that she knew the doctor. She didn't work with the doctor directly, but she did know her, and that the doctor had possibly been in some of the conferences where my case was presented. She wasn't sure if the doctor had given any feedback on the case, but did want me to know that she may be aware of my case. And so and she also suggested that I go to a different hospital and get a second opinion. She didn't seem too open to me transferring to a new doctor, but rather more so open to me going to a totally different hospital and getting a second opinion. And so while I was really appreciative of that suggestion and had, definitely entertained the thought of doing so, I was just a bit confused because when I'm reaching out and calling and trying to get them to respond, it doesn't always happen. So it was just interesting how that happened on yesterday. But at any rate, I never got a call back from the new patient coordinator, and the nurse practitioner told me that she was going to send over the request to the new doctor's scheduling team. Again, I don't know the procedures. This is what the people are telling me. So at any rate, I called this morning to find out what had happened because I hadn't heard anything, and I really want to kind of get the ball rolling with meeting a new doctor to see what's going on, and just to kind of feel settled within myself again. And so I called, and the lady remembered me, and she said, "Oh, I I got an email from the doctor this morning, and she said that she wanted to reach out to you before I did any scheduling. She's going to contact you first. And I said, oh, do you know why she's contacting me first? Or does this mean that there's a problem? Or is it possible that I won't be allowed to transfer? Like, what does that mean? Because I don't know what that means. And she said, I don't know. I don't know if you'll be able to schedule an appointment. All I know is that she sent me an email saying that she would contact you. And so shortly afterwards, I said, the nurse practitioner called me yesterday from the other doctor's office and told me that she received a notice stating that I wanted to transfer. I was like, I'm wondering if there's an issue or a problem here. And she said, well, I didn't send her the notification. I only sent out a notification stating to the doctors that you were trying to transfer. I didn't send anything to your old doctors. Maybe she works with that doctor. I said, no, from what she told me is she doesn't work with her. And so that doesn't really make sense. But, maybe I'm reading too much into this. I don't know. I'm waiting to hear back from someone, hopefully soon, and hopefully this transition is really smoothly. It may or may not be. I don't know. I don't have the energy to try to figure everything out, but I am at a place where I do have greater expectations than what I've had in the past, and I need to be supported, and I need to feel that the care team is caring and concerned about my well-being. And so I'm still a bit unsettled, but I feel better because I feel like I am saying what I need to say and not holding it in, and I am empowering myself by being assertive, stating what I need, and trying to be more proactive about just communication at large. And that makes me feel good because that's certainly a burden lifted when you get it out. And so I don't know what's going to become of this whole transfer. I don't know the doctor, but I heard of the doctor, and a couple of people had recommended the doctor to me, and the doctor is actually one of my good friend's father's doctor. So I had been hearing about her for a while, and I've heard good stuff about her too. So I don't remember, because I remember when I was looking for a doctor, her name came up, and the other doctor name was given to me by my previous doctor. And so because of the time frame, I only had a couple of weeks, I just went ahead and went with the doctor that my previous doctor suggested. And that was that. But here I am, another dilemma, but being proactive and feeling pretty good about addressing it and not letting it linger or fester or make me anxious. I still have to stay intentional about not becoming anxious, because it is a pretty intense and serious decision, and the timing is in the middle of everything. Hopefully towards the end of everything, I don't know. But yeah, so I just wanted to get that out and continue to encourage other people to speak up, find your voice. It's okay to ask that people listen to you and respect you and respect your wishes and honor your wishes, as well as it's equally important. It is equally important to do all those things for yourself. And so I'm going to end this because I don't want to go so long and didn't have a hard time updating it. I'm sorry, uploading it. So until next time, thank you.